a great sport to blame the coach in is the one where the kids don't get, I shouldn't call them kids, but the players don't get paid.
Yeah, and the coach gets all the credit because he's orchestrating.
Yeah, whatever.
They got more orchestration in this particular sport as opposed to the pros.
And we talking about college basketball, men's college basketball in particular, as both of the men's and women's tournaments are coming up. It's almost the Ides of March.
And the women's tournament is going to be here at the American Airlines Center.
That's right. Final Four will be in Dallas for the women's tournament. So go ahead and start looking at those tickets because let me tell you, when it comes to especially the highest echelons of women's basketball, they be hooping.
Ooh, goodness.
And the men's tournament, however, there's something about, you know, putting together the brackets and like trying to figure out who's going to win it. And, you know, there is some element of randomness to this because you are trying to predict the actions of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And I'm sure Alec Medford can attest, and you can attest to this, CA, having young folks of your own. Yo, they some knuckleheads sometimes. Like,
for real?
how much can you depend on these folks sometimes?
Exactly. I'll put it like this. Not even just knuckleheads. There's things you don't even think about. They might break up with their girlfriend, and all of a sudden their game is wrong. They might get homesick. All of a sudden the game ain't right.
All right, so I figured let me put you on a little bit of game. I can't put you on all the game, right? Because we had somebody text in earlier that was like, hey, man, give me big money. Oh, no, actually, I thought they were asking me to give them some big money picks or some sleepers. I don't know that I can give you all that. What I can give you is I know who's going to win. Or at least I can give you a pool of who's going to win this championship. Is that something you're interested in?
Sure.
All right, cool. So something that I've come up on, and I believe that I should credit
Arian Foster.
It is no. It is not. It has nothing to do with no script or Arian Foster, okay?
Sure it doesn't.
No script. Ryan Hammer does some really good bracketology type stuff. I was alerted via him that
What's his name again?
Ryan Hammer.
In relation to MC?
I'll have to check. I'll have to check.
Armin.
I just
Army.
He said Armin Hammer.
Well, Armin, that's his grandfather.
What?
Armie Hammer, the actor.
Yeah.
His grandfather, great grandfather, is Armin Hammer. Armin Hammer.
Is he pulling my leg right now?
Google it up.
I feel like he's pulling my leg right now.
And his Army is short for Armin.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna take your word for it.
I'm talking about that stuff in your refrigerator?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No.
Also, it's definitely in my refrigerator because, of course, it is. From the 972, it's been 2 Big 12 teams in a row that have won it all. Baylor in 21, Kansas in 22. They're betting on a Big 12 team. Not a bad one. Not a bad place to go. Big 12, really, really good conference. But that's not what I'm giving you. Oh, his name is Armin Hammer.
Try to tell you.
All right.
I hate it here.
Don't you? Don't you?
I can be held on jeopardy, I'm telling you.
All right, gentlemen. Every single national championship team since 2002 that has gone into the tournament, with a certain amount of ranking on KenPom. Have you heard of KenPom? So this is these are rankings done by Ken Pomeroy, college basketball rankings, and they basically do some adjusted stats, and they take every NBA
College basketball.
Men's college basketball team in the nation. They do some rankings on them and everything. And when it comes to offense and defense, every national champion has at least been ranked 57th in offense and 37th in defense.
Ooh, defense rules.
And actually, the reason why it's as low as 57th is because in 2014, UConn was ranked 57th in offense. Outside of that, like all the other teams, which is like 95% of the teams since 2002, were ranked at least 27th in offense and at least 37th in defense.
Okay, so the outlier was UConn, and so now it kind of skewed it.
Yeah. So I can give you a pool of teams in that upper echelon of the 95 teams outside of UConn that ranked 27th in offense or 37th in defense, or both of those. There's only 5 teams in the nation that meet those categories. You want to know who they are? Or do you have any guesses, in fact? Oh, Medford just dipped out on us. That's crazy.
I'm going to guess Baylor.
Baylor's not.
Really?
That's right.
There's got to be a Big 12 school, though.
Baylor's actually not all that good defensively this year.
That's what I was thinking. They were good on defense. So it's got to be big. Is it Kansas?
There is a Big 12 team in here. Kansas fits into the larger pool of top 57. They are 25th on offense. Oh, sorry. Actually, Kansas does fit in. I put them in the wrong spot. That is my fault, ladies and gentlemen.
That's because you went to Kansas State.
Yeah.
Actually, don't give them any
I
credit.
put them in the right spot because it's not top 27. It's top 21.
Okay.
Haha. I was like, there's a reason why I was happy that they were.
So you got 5 in one of the categories.
As a hater, it was as a hater deep down in my spirit.
Yeah.
I remember when I was putting this list together, I was like, oh, thank God the Kansas isn't in the upper echelon.
You hear
I'm
that,
so
Brian
happy
Purdy?
about that. That's right. That's right.
The boss.
Yeah, that's probably not going to help my earnings. But you know what? The hate is way more important. Kansas is in that second tier of like top,
Yeah, 27.
So they
don't miss the cut of the 5 teams.
25th best offense and the 9th best defense. They play some pretty good defense.
Yeah, okay.
Any other teams? Medford, do you have a men's team that you think might? Baylor's already been guessed.
I was starting with the Big 12.
Yeah, you could throw in the whole Big 12, really.
Well, all right, so the Big 12 team, Texas.
Wow.
16th on offense,
With their
19th
new
on
coach.
defense. Yeah, they've managed to navigate quite a little bit of turmoil.
Yeah, Chris Dyer just got past all that stuff.
So
real quick,
they are one of those teams that
I've
you
got a
should look
name.
at as a possibility. Okay.
Bama.
Alabama out of the SEC is one of the 5.
Yep.
That could possibly win this national championship. They have the 20th best offense, but the 3rd best defense in the nation. And of course, Brandon Miller, he's had a lot of the swirling around him.
Freshman of the year, SEC player of the year.
Incredible. Probably the best player in college basketball this season.
By the way, shout out to Jerry Stackhouse, former Dallas Maverick. Vanderbilt's head coach. He is the co-SEC coach of the year along with A&M's head coach. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I want to say it's like Scruggs or something like that. Coach.
At A&M?
Yeah, 877-881-105.
Isn't that Buzz Williams?
Yes, Buzz. My bad. I was thinking.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like,
it's Buzz. Yes,
I was like, did I
knew it was unusual, like Scruggs, Bugs.
Fantastic. All right, so you mentioned Texas. We mentioned Alabama. There are 3 other teams. One of them is actually UConn again, the Big East. So they were a champion outside of this parameters, but if they win it again, they'll be within the parameters because they have the 10th best offense and the 12th best defense in the country.
So we got Bama, we got UConn, we got Texas. And
there's an American Athletic Conference team and a Big Ten team.
Ooh.
The Big Ten team has been
the Ohio State.
No, they've been number 1 this year, but they are not number 1 right now. It is Purdue. Purdue has the 11th best offense in the nation.
The Boilermakers.
Now, where they have a little bit of toughness here is they have the 23rd best defense. So the defense is solid, don't get me wrong, and the offense is plenty there to help them along with it. That being the case, the defense is going to be where you might be careful. And then the 5th team, and probably the best chance. If you have looked at the rankings. They have a whole bunch of dudes that look about the same height, that are long, that are rangy, and they wear red. Actually, a lot of times they wear black.
I see that. I'm glad you said that because this time of the year, March Madness, there's a lot of people who do their
jerseys, picks based on the colors.
They do their picks on colors.
Well, if you like red, if you like black, and if you live in this metroplex, you actually might be a little upset about it. It is the University of Houston Cougars. They are the number 1 team in the nation right now, and for good reason.
They're a lock.
They went to the Final Four last year. Kelvin Sampson has built himself a very nice program over the last 4 or 5
I like him.
seasons.
He was OU's coach for a minute.
He was, and then he left there because of some rules. But
just because he was on the cell phone.
Yeah, it was like, hey man, you can't talk to recruits that much. It's like, why not? Because the NCAA said so. So he's bounced around, and Houston found them a good one in this. Houston, number 1 team right now, and for good reason. 5th best offense in the league, 6th best defense in the league. Like they
are legit.
I like to say it this way: if they need to, they can beat you 55-45 in a low-scoring game where they don't let you score at all. And then if also they could decide to beat you 75-55, where they just score a whole bunch of points, and then you still don't score all them.
Agile and hostile. So let's run these down again. You got Houston.
Yep.
You got Purdue.
Yep.
You got UConn.
Yep.
You got Alabama.
Yep.
And you got Hook'em Horns.
Texas. Those are the 5.
So 2 schools in the state of Texas.
Those are the 5 that are the most likely. And pretty much,
I like the way you did that.
I'm going to go ahead and say they're the ones who are going to win the championship. Now, outside of that, within the fuller parameters because that UConn 14 top 57 or top 57 offense, top 37 in defense. Texas A&M is in there, so there's a possibility. TCU is in there. That's a possibility. If you like Arkansas, their offense was just good enough to make it in that parameter. Kansas State, possibility. St. Mary's and Creighton also in there, and Kansas, of course. Tennessee, UCLA, all teams that have a possibility of winning the national championship in March Madness, which is coming up in just a little bit. This Sunday is Selection Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. We are that close. So this is how you start thinking about how you put together your I was about to say your bets, but we know that you're not putting any money on those brackets, are you? No, you wouldn't dare do that, would you?
Would you?
From the 972, Houston plays cupcakes all year, though. They're super mid in the Big 12 this year. I don't think that's the case, buddy. Don't think that's the case. Like, this is a team.
They're legit.
They went to the Final Four last year, and their best player did not play last year.
Exactly.
Due to injury, and Marcus Sasser, who is incredible. U of H also out of conference. Like, they literally have only lost 2 games this season, and they play out of conference before, and they played plenty of good teams. So, please understand. You cannot like Houston. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying, understand, very good basketball team. As is Texas, as is UConn, as is Alabama and Purdue. Those are the ones that you should look out for. And when I'm right,
tip, man.
When I'm right, just come back and
We'll
give me that
you
props. That's all I ask for.
We'll give you the Geno Smith kind of props.
That's right.
We'll also give you the Carmelo Anthony props from last year.
Ooh, I was telling y'all about Carmelo.
You tried to tell people.
Tried to tell
They
them.
better
Actually,
recognize.
That was like 2 years ago. Man, we've been old.